Hey guys, this is Ty of Tychem.
And this is Ashley Miller, founder of Koi3.
And this is Series of Conversations. Hey guys, welcome back to episode two
of season 3.
Exactly, of season 3, guys. We are back here with another one, and we are just ready to be providing content for you guys, to be coming correctly, to be taking advice in a nice way.
Yes.
We appreciate our supporters and our listeners, and we just hope we keep on banging out good content for you all.
Yeah, and thanks for those that are listening, because we're truly appreciating it. We're doing a better job this year of trying to be mindful of what content is getting more traction so that we know what our listeners are really liking, as well as just trying to step our podcast game up. We've been in this season 3 strong. That means that's literally been, what, 3 years?
Yes, 3 years. That's like, we are basically in the toddler world. Like, hold on. Okay.
Right, the toddler world. No, just joking.
No, we're still in the toddler world, but we're growing in this industry and we love it. I love the time that we entered this industry, because it was like a lot of people were listening to podcasts but didn't know how to really get in that world. So
and it's crazy just saying 3 years. I'm like, wow, we really have been dedicated to it. And we made sure for the way for us to be dedicated is we did realistic goals. So we did bi-weekly instead of trying to be up here every week or whatever. We made sure we did it in a time and a schedule that works for both of us. And it's amazing to see how we have definitely been committed and evolved, and it's still learning and evolving. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's actually just kind of touch some place, a place in my heart, because it's just showing I know we do, it's 2 of us, so we definitely hold each other accountable. But for people that even want to step into this world, it's possible to do it on your own, but it's definitely great to do it with a partner, because we hold each other accountable. It's something that we look forward to every 2 weeks, even if we are not in the best of space. It's something that definitely brightens our spirits. It's a nice place to be creative. So yeah, definitely want to say that.
Yeah, you brought up a good point. I know we're going to go into the topic conversation, but you brought up a good point about the fact of accountability. And I think that it's important to have that regardless if you're doing a business by yourself or doing different goals that you have set for yourself. I have started in the last probably couple of months having accountabilities in different ways in my life, whereas it is for our podcast, having a mentor, having friends that are all creating their own businesses and put it let's be accountable for one another so that we can get our goals done. So even though you may not have someone that's there for you all the time in a certain place, there's opportunities to have accountability partners in different aspects of your life. So
yeah. What did I want to bring up? Actually, one thing I did want to bring up, I want to lighten the mood. It was not deep, but it was deep. It was deep. It was good deep though. It was good deep. But Ashley going to be I call her off guard. But
I didn't mean to.
No, it was deep. No, but we actually stepped into a deep space, and I know probably some people are listening to this I don't need accountability. No, you don't need one really. If you don't have one, it's okay. You can still go into it. But I just wanted to say Ashley, aren't you surprised how long Gorilla whatever lady is? How long that went on? Guys, it is Monday, February 15th. And I just wanted to bring this up, that saga of Gorilla Glue hair or Gorilla.
I felt so bad for her.
You did?
Honestly, I have to say this. I felt bad. So I got late to the game because I had took a week off or so. It may not have seemed like it on Instagram, but I actually did. I took a week off, and I'm gonna probably do it periodically more because it just really helps with my mental and stuff. But I caught the ends of it where now she's trying to seek the help to get the glue off. Girl. And I was just like, oh my God. And she was looking all frail and
no. Listen,
And I was like, ooh, geez.
so you really felt sympathy. Well, you know what? This is a public.
Well, because I don't know. Okay, but I didn't know the beginning. So okay, this is what I understood. Because I also am very. You would think back in the day, I thought I was gonna be in like medicine and medical. I don't know how, because I would never. But so I couldn't watch the videos because every time I watched it, I just was like getting squeamish because I was just like, I can't imagine. So I don't know if I caught the beginning of what I understood is she's supposed to be using some other type of glue, but she decided to use the gorilla, like the construction type of glue, to put that ponytail on, and that thing stayed.
I'll give you a little background. Us girls that like to wear weaves, and some of us that also use gels, and you've probably seen this. There's a gel called Gorilla Snot, and there's a spray called Got to Be Glue. Got to Be Glue is like definitely, it's called Got to Be something, but it's called Got to Be Glue. And it sprays, and it's very, like, I spray it on my wave, on my head.
Yeah, because baby, let's just talk about how great this wig look, y'all. This wig is hitting.
It definitely, it definitely, like, you know, keeps the hair, like, you know, flyaways down. It keeps some people use it to glue the lace front on their head, all that stuff. And the Got to Be gel is very thick, and it can, like, you know, a lot of girls use it to slick a bun. This lady, I don't know where she got Gorilla Glue from, used this spray.
Well, you said it was Gorilla Snot.
Gorilla Snot. Exactly.
Girl, but maybe she got confused.
Like I'm telling you, if you go in a Home Depot, or even before this, the only place you could probably get those products is in a hardware section or a hardware store, like Home Depot, probably Walmart. But
you're right. They're probably not even like Gorilla Snot is not going to be where Gorilla.
No. So like,
you was like, I want that extra strength.
Girl,
that's what she wanted.
And the other thing that I'm very suspicious about, we're not going to talk too long on this, but I had to drop this. Like, if that thing was so hard enough to keep her hair in place like that, I'm surprised that her hands wasn't stuck to her head or something.
Or burning or something. That's what I'm worried about.
You know what she was doing. She got the thing.
But I will say this, though. I love the heroic, I guess, story at the end with the doctor who did it for free to help her out. Praise God, because there's good people in this world. Because baby girl. But it's a lesson for all of us. But I'm not gonna lie. Then I saw a picture. Okay, we're gonna be done after this. Yeah. But I saw somebody who does cakes, and somebody requested the gorilla
oh girl. Gosh.
With the ponytail and the gorilla glue. But hey, so there's ways to make money anyway.
Everybody making money.
Now, and actually the cake was kind of creative and cute. I ain't even gonna lie. So it's opportunities anywhere.
All of us. Okay? For all of us, but don't go around, you know, disclaimer, don't go around gluing the wrong things to your head. That's all we gotta say.
Well, Ty done told us, because she the queen with the wig. I can't tell you about stuff like that, but it's Gorilla Snot, not Gorilla Glue.
And go in the hair aisle. Do not, if the store is putting it in the wrong aisle, sue the store. That's it. That's it. But yeah.
I'm done. Girl, no Prosecco. This is straight water hydration. I don't know why I have it in this glass. I really don't know.
I respect it though.
It was the first one. I pulled it out and we're here. Hydration in the champagne glass. Well, the wine glass is actually a wine glass.
I respect it. But guys, we're going to be serious now and get right into our topic.
You know what happens when me and Ty don't talk to each other until the podcast? That's what happens. Then we random as hell talk about stuff that is not on topic, but it's fine. This is the beauty of podcasts. You can express yourself in different ways and talk about different things. So I love it.
Exactly.
So we'll go into the topic of conversation, and today's topic of conversation is progress over perfection. And I love it. I love this. Ty is actually the one who was like, Ash, what do you think about this? Do you like this? So I want you to talk about why you even came up with progress over perfection.
Yes. So guys, progress over perfection. Let me speak English. Progress over perfection is definitely a commonly known theme. I think they have a lot of themes out there like mind over matter. I think we did one in the past before, but this is a common theme. And I was just scrolling on Instagram, you know, during the pandemic, we just scroll on Instagram, and I was scrolling
all day.
And listen, and mind you, I was supposed to be doing something other than scroll on Instagram, But while I was scrolling, I landed on this theme, progress over perfection. And it just kind of like allowed me to run a lot of thoughts through my head in terms of what I'm currently working on and doing. And I think it's just like when I got in that space of thought, I was just thinking like what this actually means and, you know, applying it to my situation. And I just thought it would be a good thing for Ashley and I to both talk about today. I just thought like it's something that we could apply to our lives as well as apply to general, like other people's lives that, of course, you know, put stuff out there on public view, but it is definitely something that can be broken down and you can learn something out of both and also like agree with the term, disagree with the term. So I'm glad that we're talking about this today.
Yeah, no, I love that you even had that topic because instantly I thought about just in life how a lot of times people will go with the sayings of like practice makes perfect or you know that type of mentality when really like perfection is not I don't you can't ever be perfect, like no one is perfect. And it's when you learn that lesson, I think you actually blossom into something that you truly stand for, truly are, and how your life is supposed to be, because then you stop looking at because what you defining as your perfect, you probably looking at someone or a situation or a business that you want to be like or something, and you have deemed them perfect, not knowing what their you know history is and what they've done to get to where they are, and you just want to get there. And it's like, but do you want them problems or do you want you want that journey? So I think I get it. Perfection can come from a place of just really wanting to be on your shit and like leveling up and being at a higher standard or level. But I think when you take that out of the mind frame, you're really able to be your true authentic self, which will bring a perfection that is of your standard
and natural.
you know?
And I kind of want to bring this up sooner rather than later, but while Ashley and I were preparing for this podcast, we kind of hit the point of how perfection and how like this phrase can be perceived different and applied differently to everyone's specific situation. So while she was talking, I just even thought about this example of like somebody who's in the gym working out and they want to get to this, you know, chiseled, I'll use Gabrielle Union since that's my body goals, I guess.
Okay,
I don't know.
girl.
That's like certain aspects of her, but I think like fitness goals in terms of how she works out and stuff. But like somebody could have the end goal of this person and say, I want my body to look like that. But overall, it's like through that, you can't reach that that perfection stage with like, you have to, it takes time to reach there. Like, of course there's surgery and stuff to get there and be perfect, but you know, the things that come along with it. But over time, as you progress and get there, like it's going to eventually get you to that perfection state, and that perfection state might be different than what you originally thought. But just looking at it differently in each situation and applying it. So it could be a fitness, it could be multiple things. So we're gonna go into our personal, you know, specific story perspectives. But I'll let Ashley run with it.
I just have to say this. I wasn't gonna say it, but I can't help it. When you brought up the fitness idea, I was like, girl, you just don't know how much that resonates with me, because now that I live in Miami, we in the land of don't nobody want to wear no clothes. Okay. Girl. Nobody want to wear no clothes. They on vacation all day here. Don't matter if they working, they on vacation. And when I go and do like my walks, I'm trying to do more because we already know that, you know, hashtag freshman 15 would turn into COVID-19. Like we out here gaining weight, looking like bodies we ain't never seen before. Okay. I went to the doctor the other day. I'm not even going to, no, I'm actually going to tell you because I'm a very transparent person. Your girl.
Shade,
no, it's not.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
No, I am. But I have never in my life seen 173. And y'all, I'm 173. Help me.
Listen, it's going.
You can't see it though. I was like, baby girl, you gonna have to do something because we're not living this life. And so, you know, I said we gotta start shooting it in the gym again. We gotta go out, like even if it is for a walk. Today it's a 4-mile walk. Like you gotta do something. Because the thing is, especially living in New York, and Ty knows this, we were on the subways, we walking steps, we ain't even trying to walk, but we gotta walk. Like where, you know, as a stylist, I'm like lugging clothes and running back and forth. And now I'm not really doing that as much because I'm doing a lot more clients virtually. It's just like I'm now. So when you were talking about the fitness part, I was like, yeah, I really need to remember the progression of it and just doing my part to get myself back to a weight that I want to be. Because the honest truth is, when I'm out here, these bodies, some of them is baby girl, they make
some shit,
they're purchased. But you forget, you see them, they out in their workout clothes, they looking snatched and good, and you're like, if I could only get back to, and what you have to remember is that there's a progression for it, and those people may not even have done the progression, because Dr. Miami is Dr. Miami.
Out here, he's out there. He's out there. No, and you actually, listen, we always do this, we get on a different point, but I'm just even thinking about fitness and looking at sometimes how I look in the mirror at myself, and this is, I guess, transparency moment. Let me stop. No, but transparency moment. I feel like recently I looked in the mirror and not feel as happy with myself and my body, and I think, of course, you know, Ashley's right. In New York, we always in the move, always moving, always going, and of course, working from home, just chilling. I'm not really going out as much. The weather being terrible and not wanting to be walking in the snow. I've definitely seen, like, you know, baby weight. And it has definitely like deterred me from wanting to step on a scale, wanting me to wear certain outfits. Like one of my friends was telling me, she was like, Ty, your body is really nice. You need to start wearing form-fitting stuff. And I was like, I don't feel like that, you know? I love wearing my tunics. I love wearing my loose tops. And I noticed that it's so hard for like, of course, that's one thing. Embrace your weight, embrace it, love it. But if you're not happy with where you're currently at, it's like, okay, I gotta put some work into it. But the thing I learned is that like it's like I have to do it over time. It cannot be like something that's instantly good. Like I'm gonna drop weight. I remember back in the days I used to try to do like a military diet and all this stuff. And it's like, you know, to lose weight like in the matter of a week and stuff like that. But we going into a whole nother thing that we'll probably talk about.
No, but I think, and this can segue, I will actually use what you just said to kind of segue into my perspective of progress versus perfection. And it was talking about how you're talking about the military diet or the 1 week of no sugar and no this and no that. And it's like, those can be all great. But I have learned that one, I always think about the 21 day kind of creates a habit. Sometimes you got to do it way longer than 21 days because baby girl, me and Ty done did the no alcohol.
That was like 30 days. 30 days, 30 days. Girl.
Your girl can drink a Prosecco. So.
Right? You be like, I ain't do that again.
But I will say this, that, you know, that instant gratification to get to a level, you have to understand, and I'm not going to say you have to. What I have understood is that there's beauty in the journey. There's reasons in the journey that need to happen so that you can get to that level that you want to. And I just don't look at perfection in the same way anymore in my life. I've started to I was looking at perfection as like those businesses that have, you know, they're out to the public and they're making big, huge impacts in my eyes, or, you know, that person that is famous and doing this, that, and the other and hitting all of these markets, or, you know, just someone who looks like they have it all together. And I really have learned, especially within my time moving to New York and then moving to Miami, that everyone has a story. And those stories that they went through is what brought them to whatever that we might admire about them. So I'm gonna have to do my work. I'm gonna have to do my progress to get to where I want, to get to, I'll be the superficial part right now because we all want it, to get to the house, to get to the man, to get the kids, to get the successful careers and all of that, but also to get the happiness, to get the purpose-driven life, to get, you know, the spirituality and the connection with God. You still got to pray every single day and read and connect with him. You can't just, he don't just pop up and here he is. Like there is work that has to happen in your life. And I've watched that when I do the work, I stop looking at being perfect or being accomplished in a way that I feel deemed as what society has said or what I have put on as parameters of myself. And I start to be like, wow, because I put in this process, like went through the process, put in this work, I value it so much more now when I, it be the small things. Like I was in my house yesterday, I was washing my dishes, and I was like, God, let me tell you something. Your girl was looking at the alleyway in New York, but loved when she was looking at the alleyway in New York. Let me just be very real about this. I put in the work to get there. And I was in that apartment and I loved it for what it was. And I was appreciative at the level that I was at. And to have the blessing now to be in a place where I can see outside more or, just being and sit out on a balcony and like being in the nature. It's not that I forgot that I was just as appreciative when all I was looking was at the brick wall next door to me, and that was the view, because I loved where I was at then because I worked for it. I think for me it's just so much more now about the work and tapping into that and not looking at what everybody else. But we got people that we admire, we got things that we admire and goals that we want to get to, but I think you will really get there in the way that's meant and deemed for you when you just start being in your own process.
Exactly. No, I really love that. And I'm gonna go into the perspectives in terms of and just applying it to a certain situation in my life and just like, working it out on this podcast. But definitely like so basically when I fell onto this podcast, I was supposed to be working on some stuff for like applications because I'm applying to school. And while I was distracted, I was procrastinating on Instagram. I just definitely was looking at it like, right now I'm supposed to be working on this essay. So I was working on an essay, and at that time I remember I was working on it nightly. I was like, it's perfect. I had everything set. I was like, okay, this is good. And it was to the point that I thought it was perfect. And when I gave it to somebody to review it, it was like all these issues with it. And as mind you, at that point I thought it was perfect. And I just looked at it. I think I took a step back and took some time to actually revisit, like, how am I going to tackle this? Because all those revisions was like, yo, you actually need to go back. Like I said, I repeat myself. You actually need to go back and figure out why you want to do this. And I basically it kind of like was like a, like shit on my whole list, like on my whole, like basically you need to redo this whole thing over. And I look back at it like,
which is hard.
It's hard because it's also hard to take rejection or like, somebody telling you like, yo, this is not done properly. But I took a step back and was like, this is gonna take time. Like putting this work in for this little essay is actually gonna take time because I have to put time, thought, all this stuff into it. And that's where the progress part came in, because I was like, yo, the amount of edits and revisions and changes that this thing is going to go into is going to take time. And I think when I got to a place that I was okay with that, that's when the real work, like, actually started. That's where the perfection came in. That's when I started like, putting myself more like into what I was doing and actually not rushing, because I was rushing to achieve perfection.
Yeah,
but I wasn't adding
right there.
I wasn't adding the progress part in and taking my time to actually like, progressively work on this. But I just want to quickly like chime into like put this example or like this example into it. And Ashley probably, because she's a business owner, she could chime into this. But I'm thinking of it as a business owner who has a product. And they could start instantly and be like, yo, my business is going to blow. Because especially that's what we see on social media a lot. That businesses, like somebody starts something, the next day they selling out. But a business starts out and the person could instantly like, do this, like have a product, have a website, and expect things to start working from it. But it's to the point when they start working on certain aspects over time, like progress, then they'll get to a space of that perfection, because everything that they're working hardly on is just gonna advance and be worked on. Because listen, it's like me, like how I did my hair this morning. I pressed it out. You guys can't see it, but I pressed it out, but Ashley could see it's not fully straight. So it looks like perfection in the front. But if I took time, the back would have been straightened properly.
Oh, you better come with that word.
Listen, This is what happens when you are not like, because this weekend I did not work on anything. I honestly slept, relaxed, so it's all rest. Listen.
Whoa, Ty, I just want people to catch it because some of you guys are gonna watch this. We are now on YouTube too, so we are filming as we are recording. So if you want to see us visually, you can go to YouTube, or continue to keep listening to us on the podcast outlet.
Can I quickly say something?
Go ahead.
How on Clubhouse is different because you get to just talk on it. Like, I think I love this visual formatting again because we get to see each other. You get to kind of like gas each other up.
Yes. No, but I just wanted to, I literally am about to do that because I wanted people to catch what you said. When you see us on the YouTube, you'll see that Ty's hair from the front is straight. When she turns to the side, it was a little bit of wave up in there, right? And so basically, essentially what she's saying is that she put in the work in the front. That top layer she put in.
Look at this.
But there's a foundation to this in order to show perfection or show leveling up or show whatever it is that you want in your life throughout your life. And that means putting in a little bit more work. So she's gonna have to go back and flat iron or blow dry that back.
Yep.
So the whole look
can
come together. And I think that's essentially in life. And just to touch on what you were going back to, what you were saying about business owners, I'm learning that lesson right now. And I don't want to say, I was about to say I'm learning that hard lesson right now, but it's not a hard lesson because it's the lesson that you need to learn with anything that you're doing in life, and especially as a business. When I first started Koi 3, I was starting it with a jewelry piece. And it took a lot of my money, a lot of my energy. And it was, I'm trying to learn how to be basically a jewelry designer and a business owner at the same time. Then on top of that, because your girl can sometimes be an overachiever, I decided to announce to the world I was going to have a launch party. And so then I have people flying in for this launch on my 30th birthday. So now I'm freaking out because the jewelry wasn't to the point that I wanted it, and it wasn't to scale. It was going to be like, if somebody ordered it, for me to even come out, I don't know, it was going to be like almost $300 for this piece. And I wasn't trying to market to that type of clientele. And so what did I do for my launch? I decided to create shirts and hoodies and all type of other stuff so that people would at least have something to buy there. Now, I knew that my why was always coming from a place of inspiring people to live in who that they are and do the work to find out what that is in order to live a life that's truly deserving of them and being authentic. Because I just found that had worked in my life instead of looking at what my parents wanted, what my friends wanted, what I should do because I went to college. I started tapping into what I truly wanted. And then, we've talked about it before. I've talked about the different things that have happened in my life. And I know it's because of my trust in God, but also listening to myself. So when I did the launch party, I kind of rolled with it. And when I mean I rolled with it, I pretty much kind of stopped making the jewelry because it was just so frustrating. I went into, that was 2017. I went into basically the next 2-3 years of just like doing inspirational, pop-up shops or whatever with the shirts and the hats and all of that stuff and doing stuff on Instagram. But I really didn't go back to the why of what I was doing and putting in the work of the foundation, like truly being like, what are we doing? And it's not till now in 2020 that I am finally being like, 2021. Sorry.
I was like, don't take us back.
See, these years are going by so fast. That was 2017. 2021, I'm finally literally fully doing the business plan, coming from a place of like sitting down, taking the time, not rushing through it because I know people asking for new products or what should the website look like and what should the Instagram look like and what events are you doing with people and collaborating. I'm like, we gotta press pause. Like I'll put content out there to keep the business going, but actually, what are you trying to do? And through my late nights, girl, one day I was doing a whole case study at night, typing up stuff at night in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I came to a realization that I'm doing this for my people, Black community, and really helping them to see what self-care looks like, what holistic wellness looks like, for our culture. Because let's be honest, our whole culture ain't going out there and going and doing meditation, yoga, expensive spa days. All of that is great. Your girl loves to indulge, but it's meeting us at where we are. We come from a background of life of just persevering through adversity and truly just being like, look, you know, it's weak to feel emotional. It's, you know, if you have a problem, you go to God and that's it. But God done made other avenues in life to help you to get through this life. So you got, but if you don't know them and all you know is you go to God and that's it, then how you know? So now I'm doing that foundation work, doing the progress of what you're saying, not rushing. I used to rush through articles just to get stats, or rush through, you know, you look up something of like how to make your Instagram better, and I'm rushing through reading it. How you gonna take the information and take it in to help you to build your empire, to build yourself? I'm sitting up here frustrated about my anxiety. I look up an article and then I'm gonna rush to read the article. How am I help myself?
You're not working on it.
You just want to get to the perfection. You just want to get to the end goal. That is not what this is about. And so I said all that to say, sorry, so long-winded, that I am now doing the work because the work is always gonna have to happen. You can fast forward if you want to, but God probably he gonna bring you back.
Exactly.
He's bringing me back. But what I realized, and I was talking to Ty about this, is like, instead of focusing on certain things that, yes, they might not be my strong point. I don't really like posting on social media. But what I do know is I'm really passionate about what I'm trying to do for our community. So if I take the time to do the foundation work, I know God will put, whether it's a grant, whether it's people that want to be invested in the business, whether it's, you know, whoever, he's going to put those people in my circle, in my place, to help me on the parts that I don't understand.
Or the parts that you're weak on. It's true.
Yep.
That's like really good, you know, a really good observation, because that's like an observation of yourself, and hopefully somebody hearing this could at least provide some advice for my girl. But I actually, and it's I love the step back that you some, you just have to take that step back sometimes to get to where we need to be.
Yeah. And sometimes that means getting out of your own way, letting the pride go and the ego go, because what looks like to the outside, especially with me, with my styling and even my like Koi 3, people would think, oh, well, she got a brand, she's doing this, she's doing this. You don't understand that there is levels to this, and there is work to this. And so what looks like to the outside as something just so easy done and accomplished, you don't know the late nights, the cries, the anxiety, the second guessing, the talks with friends, families, and professionals, because the therapist is on call, child. Okay, weekly sessions.
I love that. No, listen.
All of that stuff is what brings you to this point and continues to help you to grow.
Yes. No, I love that. But that was deep. This podcast turned out to be deeper than we always doing that.
But
No. But I'm talking about like overall, like this podcast, like in terms of the topic, is just turning out to be deeper than we expected. But
yeah, when you said it, I was like, this is a good one, Ty. I was like, let's definitely. Look at her.
I'm actually hyped because I just love when we actually have a real topic that we could like both, you know, give feedback to. Like not even feedback to, and it's probably me improving as a public speaker or whatever, because we'll talk about that in another.
Oh, wait, I just have to say this. I have to big up my girl because she doesn't know, but whether it's because of my algorithm on YouTube or whatever, I've been seeing her post. I know I'm gonna let her talk about her story at another time, but what I know from it is that she went from a lot of followers on YouTube to stopping, and she's coming back. And she also deals a lot with her public speaking and thinking that she's actually worse than what she is, because she's very good. But I know that it can get into her head. But I have been watching her progress and be dedicated and committed to making not only herself a better public speaker, but also being, you know, dedicated to her craft and being like, I don't care if it's 10 followers. I don't care if it's 10,000 followers. I'm going to do this because I know it's for the good of myself. So shout out to you, Ty.
I think we're definitely going to make this a podcast because it's something, there's things that I could apply to, or I could, give feedback to now because I'm in that world. So we're definitely gonna work on something on that. But we're gonna hit this last point of our podcast, and it's basically kind of applying it to some real people in society. And the first person I could go with my example, very simple, but we know her. It's Issa Rae, and just chiming in and saying like Issa Rae is definitely is one of the perfect examples of progress over perfection. Recently, I think it was a few weeks ago, she came out with Awkward Black Girl. Well, not it was the 10-year anniversary for Awkward Black Girl. For those who don't know, Issa Rae is content creator, now producer, and she's like popular for the big hits on HBO, Insecure, other big hits, but I'll just say Insecure because that's her bread and butter. But Awkward Black Girl is where she started from. And it was their 10-year anniversary. And just looking at her trajectory over time, she started as a content creator. She put out content of like Awkward Black Girl. It was a whole series, recorded with the camera, edited possibly by herself or her team. And just looking at her over time, I believe, going through Patreon, building, and mind you, Patreon back in like 2011, like back in the days, not Patreon now, but building money to fund this platform, fund this this, I think it was the writing of Insecure, because she was building time, and then getting to a place of where her show was picked up by HBO and filmed and pushed out for how many seasons? I think about 5 to 6 seasons, and it coming to an end, but her still getting to levels unknown and unreached. And at that time when she was probably doing that, she was doing that small series, everybody didn't think it would come to that. But like, look at her like reaching the level of what we perceive as perfection. We don't know what she perceives as perfection, but look at her reaching that level of perfection that society sees, and her even still striving even harder. So perfect example. Shout out to Issa Rae.
And shout out to her even thinking outside the box. I don't know. I keep seeing it on my Instagram of like a master class or something like that, and it's called outside. I think it's called like creating outside the box or something. Okay. And I heard that she has like a new show coming out, and she has executive producers, the City Girls, and I just think that is dope because we have to think outside the box. I think that is actually when greatness is really outside of the that box that everybody tries to put people in, put businesses in, just put society's norms in. And when you go outside of that, there's just so much more. So shout out to her. See her doing great things. My example is my love. I call her my industry mommy only because she's the only person that has ever been truly real with me. She's in the fashion industry as well as the entertainment industry. And that is Miss Bevy Smith. She has a new book out actually called Bevelations. And it's the lessons from the mother, Auntie Bestie, Bevy Smith. And I encourage you guys to get this book if you do not have it. One reason why I truly love her, like I said, is because she's always been real with me. But when I met her on a show, the show that she was hosting on, dang, Ty, when was that show? Because that's the show me and Ty actually.
I thought it was like, hey, you forgot the name. That show was
K6 TV. But when did we start that show?
2018? Was it
2018?
I feel like it has to be 2017.
2017. So that means I did the pilot probably like early 2017, because you were on the pilot. Yeah, right?
I wasn't on the pilot, so it probably has to be 2017 that you did it.
So when we started doing that show, I was obviously on the styling team, and I got to be really close with her. And as I went through different growths in my life, like I was working on that show and the Chew got canceled, and I was like, what the hell am I going to do with my life? I did a lot of intimate conversations with Bevy, and she really, just told me about her story in life and how she went from the different avenues of where she was at to get to where she is now. And even now, because the show that me and Ty was on is canceled, and she's still out here beasting it. And what I loved is the versatility that came from it, the way that she learned from the lessons of the hard times, the good times, and the in-between times, how she maximized times in her life when whether she quit, fired, or decided that this wasn't for her anymore, she created new ways in her life. I always admire how she did her, I think it's dinners that she does, where she highlighted different celebrities and not even just like up and coming people, and it turned into an amazing, not only great event, but a profitable, a new income stream for her. And now she's, you know, she's got TV hosting under her belt. She's got radio host under her belt. She's got, because I'm saying it for her, bestseller under her belt. And I already know that it's topped the charts on Amazon, so you definitely need to get it. But she's doing amazing things. And I think that it just goes to show what we're talking about progress over perfection. There are the perfects of the world, which is really no one or nothing, because everybody has a story and a struggle on how they got to where they are. But it's the progression that gets you to those levels that you desire to be. And so I love to hear stories from different people that have succeeded and went outside of the box to get to their success. So shout out to Bevy. Love you so much. Industry mommy, and definitely Ty loves Bevy too.
Love you too.
And y'all definitely get her book. But you know, we're gonna wrap it up, right?
Yes, guys. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please review, you know, like our podcast, follow us on Instagram, but I'm gonna give you the information right now. So you can follow us at Series of Conversations on Instagram. You can follow me at Taikem, Taikem.
And I'm gonna say this, I don't mean we might have to do this over because Ty already looking at me.
What I did? Oh, I said
no, I was gonna just do a cutoff and just tell you guys one more last, because I always wrap it up, but then she started to go into our I really wanna encourage any, not only for business owners, creatives, but also for people who are just feeling like they're not at a point in their life where they feel like they're walking in purpose, or they just don't know what they're doing with their life. Know that there is levels to this. And it all starts with being that authentic person inside. What you got on there, Ty?
Real crazy. I wrote it.
I'm reading on your notepad from Miami, girl.
Listen, anytime, and this is what I do. I'm sorry to cut you off again, but anytime somebody says words, because you said it before, anytime somebody says words that, and especially like with us, whenever we say a word on a podcast, I'm like, ooh, this would be a good podcast episode. So I'll put it on the paper. So listen, there's levels to this. So just keep that in mind.
She in New York,
I'm taking notes.
Miami, she taking notes, and I'm reading the notes and not even knowing. So there is levels to this. There's levels to anything you want to do in life. You can get the admiration, the inspiration from those higher levels, but still do your work and know that there is a progress. There is no success overnight. I see it all the time. There's so many actors, actresses, singers, songwriters, rappers, all this. It's like all of a sudden, boom, they look like they just came out of nowhere and now they're famous, or they have these big projects. And if you listen to their stories, it's like, nah, boo, I've been in the trenches for a minute. So get in those trenches. God is providing and protecting. So the trenches ain't as scary as you think they are, okay? But if you gotta do the work. You gotta do the work. So
exactly.
That's all I just wanted to say.
That's sweet. And I honestly think this was a podcast that we don't even gotta edit.
No, we don't, boo.
We love that. Guys, that's what we do. You know, we're listen. Okay, but now I'm gonna wrap it up the proper way. So you guys can follow us at Series of Conversations on Instagram. You can follow me at Taikem, Taikem.
And then you can follow me at Ashley Michelle Miller, and always follow Koi3 at KOI_THREE. And this is Series of Conversations.